You cannot tell him that, babe, I want to buy a bone straight. You know, if you see, since go, don't sleep with somebody that you are not ready to have a child with. It doesn't worth it. It was the absolute ghetto. Trust me. I knew for a fact that I wanted to keep the baby. Like, nobody needed to tell me anything. I feel so ashamed that I started a business. I spent a lot of money. Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Adesholamie, but my friend calls me Spence Money. Okay, period, dot, on caps lock, or whatever Princess said in Real Housewife. Anyways, welcome back to the channel. Today, I want us to talk about having a child before marriage because that was what happened to me. And you know that this is one topic that I've always wanted to talk about, but I've not had the opportunity to do that. But I was having a conversation with someone recently, and she was like, she would rather die than having a child before marriage. And I was like, okay, should I die? Should I hug the transformer? Should I commit suicide? Should I do all of those things? Because for me, it's having a child is not the end of the world. There are people out there that are praying to God to have a child, and they would pray to God to just have the child with anybody, and just to be good, just to have a child. Do you get? So I see children as blessings from God, and I don't see a reason why someone would say she would rather die than have children out of marriage. It wasn't like I planned to like get pregnant and have a child before marriage. In fact, I'm one of those people that would tell you, okay, like I had this perfect like, not like I had like a perfect wedding or like a dream wedding in mind, but I've always been the person that, oh, I want to have like a cute proposal. I want my guy to kneel down, propose to me. Then we're going to do the introduction. Then we're going to do this. And then the marriage is going to be boom. And everything is just going to be perfect. While that is all cute, not everybody's going to have that. Mm-mm. In fact, you realize that you have more pressing issues than doing all of those things. Don't get me wrong. In my next life, I would still want to have like the cute proposal, have like the introduction, then have like the marriage before having a child because everything eventually happened, right? But it was after getting pregnant, which I mean, it's not going to work for everybody. But what I'm trying to say is that we are all not going to have the same situations. We are not all going to live our life the same way. And what is going to happen to me is obviously going to be different from what is going to happen to my sister. My sister probably doesn't even have a boyfriend. My sister probably wants to like get married tomorrow. My sister probably already have somebody that is going to propose to her. Do you get? But we are all going to live our life differently and separately. So having a child, in fact, I feel like the minute you get pregnant, you're going to start thinking of how to even get better for yourself and for your child. Because for me, the minute I got pregnant, it wasn't just about me again. When I found out I got pregnant, I wanted the baby because I was seeing someone that I know that is very responsible and someone that I actually would like to have a baby with. I've dated people and you just feel like, okay, no, I don't want to have a child with this person. I know we've all been there. And I'm usually a fan of don't sleep with people you are not ready to have a child with. Ask my friend. This is not me coming on YouTube to come and front what I'm not. I would tell my friends, don't sleep with somebody you are not ready to have a child with. So that has always been my mantra. And it wasn't the case of me not even dating other people, but I knew where not to cross. Do you get? That has always been me because I'm like, I've always been this, okay, I'm not going to get an abortion. Whenever I get pregnant, I'm definitely going to have it. So when I found out I was pregnant, I can't forget April 20th, I was on a video call with my friend Baraka. Shout out to you. I was telling her about how I missed my period, blah blah blah. I went to buy PT test strip that day and I found out, maybe those two lines. The minute you see on that pregnancy strip, the minute you don't see that first line in the middle and it just goes up a little bit, my dear. No, that's not it. The minute that first line in the middle pops up, if it's negative, it like kind of like goes a little bit higher and then you just see one line. But the minute it kind of like stops at the middle, just know that it don't happen. You know. So when I saw it, I was like, bruh. I cried at first because I'd just moved to the island. I wanted to start my life. Yeah, I wanted to start my life. Like, okay, I've always been like a school person. I thought, okay, I was gonna do my MSc, do my PhD, have like a cute husband, and then I'll be good. But when I found out how much lecturers were getting, like, I totally changed my mind from even doing my PhD in Nigeria, because, or even at all, because I was like, so what's the point of going through all of this stress, reading, only for me to finish, and then you pay me money that cannot even buy you a wig? Best believe me, those people are not getting money. Like, if you are dating a lecturer here in Nigeria, you cannot tell him that, babe, I want to buy a bone straight. You know, if you see, since go, you know, if you see, because they are not paying those people well. So I just gave up on the whole lecturing academic career of mine that I've always had. And I was like, okay, let me pursue content creation. I tried having a business, Spence Cosmetics, and it went from like 100 to 0, which my husband is still telling me that, okay, don't worry, you can kind of like, when everything is settled, you can get back to the business. But for me, I don't even know if I want to, because I feel so ashamed that I started a business. I spent a lot of money, and it just went down the drain. Lesson learned, of course. But I mean, I'm so ashamed to kind of like start again and all of those things, especially in that business part. I know some people that are like, I've been in this content creation game since 2015. So I know people, and I'm so glad, I'm so happy to see that content creation is what it is right now. There are some girls that I see now, and I'm like, I knew these people when they were on the street of Instagram, posting every day, doing makeup tricks, makeup acts, all of those things. I see them and I'm like, girl, I'm proud of you that you were able to, like, hold strong and hold tight, and being where they are now and doing really well, making money really, really, really makes me happy. Right. So when I finished from MSc, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go back to school to do content creation. I'm going to kind of like start my career. So I started like 2020 fully back. I had my own studio. I have my studio here. I've always been a pro studio. I just want to walk in here, know that this is my space. I want to film, and I'm gonna be good. I've always been a pro studio. So I converted my own room. In fact, that time we had not built the upper part of my house. I had to build like one room and converted it to my studio because I needed that badly. But I started feeling like choked in the house. I felt like I wanted more. I really didn't want to confine myself in that place. So I decided to move out, which was what I did in 2021. Shout out to you guys. Yeah, you are the real OG, okay? It was in 2021 I moved in January. I moved like February, and I started settling around March. I had a lot of issues in the house. It was the absolute ghetto. Trust me. In March, I was like kind of like settling down, only for me to get pregnant in April. So it kind of like dragged my morale from 100 to 0 again. Like, okay, when I'm about to start my life, I got pregnant. I was like, that made me cry. Is this really, like, I should have just stayed at home? The first 3 months of the pregnancy was hell. It was like I couldn't even do anything. I couldn't make videos. I was just sleeping, eating, seeing movies, and having back pain, complaining to my friends, complaining to my husband, and minding my business basically. So it was just a lot for me, and I was like, ah. So that actually made me cry, but I knew for a fact that I wanted to keep the baby. Like, nobody needed to tell me anything. And my husband was like, "Don't worry, Adeshola, this is fine. We can do this. You can do this." So I had like very good moral, emotional support from my husband, from my friends, from my family. Shout out to my sister. My sister is like the real OG in all of these things, all of like everything. She has been with me from like, let me say, the first month I found out I was pregnant, and she's still with me. She has helped me nurse to my baby. She's just an amazing person. Shout out to you, Fitia. You probably wouldn't even watch these videos because that girl, she'll tell me, no, I can't watch your videos. How can you be talking for so long? That's my sister for you. So when I found out I was pregnant, I knew I was gonna keep the baby. And my husband wasn't okay, was in Nigeria at that time, but it was gonna travel the next week. We just had to rush through some things. Then I wanted to travel, I wanted to go meet him. I applied for visa 7 times. Not 7 times, like 3 4 times, and I didn't get a visa. So in essence, what I'm trying to say is that when you get pregnant, it's actually not the end of the world, because after my pregnancy, I just gave myself the break. I was posting on Instagram, on YouTube at least. So I moved to Ibadan, and I figured, okay, I can as well just create content here in Ibadan, vlogged the entire moving process, and I posted it even while I was pregnant. I know some people probably knew when I was pregnant and probably didn't mention it, but I was still trying my best to kind of like make sure that I'm doing something that is bringing me money. So you having a baby or you getting pregnant is actually not the end of the world. And after I got pregnant, after I gave birth in December, I gave myself December, January, February, and I started posting content back in March. Do you get? So in March, like look at me now, I'm talking fluently, like, and I've not filmed videos, YouTube videos in a long time. But in March, I was like, okay, let me start again after a year. If you watch the video I posted in March, even though I knew what I wanted to say, I was literally stammering because it had to like take a lot of things for me to get familiar with the camera again, get comfortable with the camera, and know things that I want to say without going through my script. Now I'm not even filming this video with a script, but my husband would even say you're supposed to have like a 6 month break, but I'm like, six what? 6 months? Nah. So I started around March when my baby was 4 months, and now my baby is 9 months. So I've used 5 months during the old baby to build myself back up. And in the past 5 months, I've been posting consistently on Instagram and on TikTok. So having a child really isn't the end of the world. You just have to do what works for you. If you are 30 years old and you are telling me that you would rather die than have a child, I don't know. I don't want to say, because I know there are some people that probably don't want children, but me, Adesholamie, I want children from God. I already have one, and I'm going to have another one very soon by the grace of God. Amen. Amen. God is not going to kill any of my children, and God is not going to kill you that are watching this video. God is not going to kill your children. So if you want to have children, I feel like you just need to like set your priorities right. It's okay to have children before you get married. I had my wedding August 20th. I think I'm filming this is September. I had my wedding August 20th, and it was one of the best weddings. Big pro. It wasn't a loud wedding. It wasn't like a fancy wedding. I mean, just do what works for you. Don't all these eh there's no manual to this thing. There's no manual to love. There's no manual to marriage. There's no manual to childbirth. There's no manual to having children. Just do what works for you in your household, because you only can tell how it works, what works, and what you are not going to tolerate. Do you get? So I feel like if you want to have children, go ahead with them. Have children. If you don't want to have husband, self. Do you get? But if you want to have husband, do you get? So it just kind of like work both ways. But I feel like it still goes down to what you want. If you have a boyfriend that is very responsible, and like I tell my friends, see, my friends, they know me. I tell my friends, don't sleep with somebody that you are not ready to have a child with. It doesn't worth it, because if you feel like okay, a child is going to keep a man, a child is not going to keep a man. A man will be kept. About how do they say it? A man that wants to be kept will be kept. Is that how they say it? Yeah. If a man wants to be kept, is going to be kept. I mean, I don't know how they say it, but don't sleep with somebody you're not ready to have a child with, because you go suffer. Bringing up a child is not easy, to be honest. So yeah, I think that's just everything I want to say about having a child before marriage. It's not a big deal. It's not out of the world. It's not new. Nothing is going to happen to you. The most important thing for you is to have a child with somebody that actually wants to have a child with you. That way you can kind of enjoy and not stress. Having a supportive partner is really, really, really one of the best thing in the world. You don't need a lot of money. Even if your partner has like a lot of money, but is not supportive emotionally most importantly, then I think you're gonna be in a huge mess. I don't know how baby mamas how they do work around it, but I don't know, to be honest. If I'm a single mom, I'm gonna cry my ass out every day. Trust me. Trust me. I'm gonna cry every day. So yeah, that's basically it. We've come to the end of this video. If you enjoyed it and you want me to talk about videos, you want me to do videos related to like motherhood, what else, family, let me know in the comment section, and I will be more than glad to do so. Thank you very much. We've come to the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel by clicking on subscribe button down below. Turn on post notification bell right beside it so you can get notified when I post similar content related to this one. Thank you very much. I am going to see you in my next one. Bye guys.
¿Cuánto tiempo tengo sin verte? En verdad no no quiero creerte. Cuando te fuiste quedó en